tier. Spawning in the upper right in the red for Alpha X. He's classic. And his opponent to the cheesy Terran for Prep Esports, Hanmano. And man, I know I've said this, but the intro music that I found to do what I do now instead of just having the guitar riffs, it makes it so easy to have fun with the team intros or with the player intros because they're just more epic, and it makes you feel for that brief moment that you're actually in a big broadcast instead of sitting at home at your desk by yourself, crying tears and really rapidly shoveling ice cream in your mouth to stave off the significant depression that is in your life. Oh, is that just me? Well, anyways. Interesting. So second barracks is being built. This is a 3-rack split. Where's the third barracks? Oh, wait, never mind. That's just 2 barracks, and I assume the first one was done by now, but it is not. So 2 barracks play, 1 at home, 1 abroad. Single gas. This is most likely going to be proxy marauders out. There's the tech lab coming on down. This is absolutely something that can kill Classic if he does not scout it. And, well, his probe has gone many places on the map, but what it has not found is any sort of proxy. Now, it's going to find its way on into the main base. It's going to say, okay, Marine first. Marine first, but I don't see a command center. That's a little bit interesting, although probe did not find its way fully onto the high ground, so there's a very real opportunity that the command center is right here. That would be a rather slim timing. So Marine first, effectively no command center, is going to make Classic okay. Okay, something's a little bit weird here, but he's not actually okay, so he will. He did build that first Zealot in the off chance that this is going to be some sort of Reaper play, and it will help him, sure. Zealots against Marauders are pretty horrendous when we're looking at this stage of the game because they are slow, they will be slower, but it is something that tanks for the Stalkers, for the actual units that do a really good job, or at least can try to knock down what the Terran is going for. So first Marauder is rallying. Okay, there we go. But Marauders are on the way. It's going to be 3 Marines with 4th one on the way. 2 Marauders, concussive shell, and there is no shield battery here. Now, Classic will eventually hold this, assuming he does not lose the pylon, where he gets a Void Ray out, and then, or he gets an Oracle, and the army does not really work. But oh, Stalker on the left side here. Does Hanmano see it? It looks like he did, but he's going to zone out for now. Just going to find his way into the natural shield battery popping up, but that is gone immediately. Stalker's got to go home, but now it is no good place to retreat to. So the Marauders, they're going to run on over. There's the first tag. This is a dead Stalker here in this game number 1. And with the probes getting pulled, these are just dead probes. They cannot really run away. Now, the one good thing that Classic has done, he has saved time for the shield battery to complete, but it looks like it does not even matter. More and more probes getting pulled. Hanmano, maybe with not the snappiest of micro, but he does not have stim, so it's really not all that unexpected. As it looks like 1 Marauder will finally go down, but the Stalker's dead as well. The thing we're missing, of course, is Marines. Probes can actually fight Stalkers fairly well, but it does not matter because the damage is there. Classic falls. Hanmano, he takes game 1. No. Beard, you don't understand. We need to be as unhealthy as possible because that's the only way that our souls get fed. Or something like that. I don't know. But actually, my question for you folks, as we talk about Greek yogurt or ice cream or whatever we're talking about, do y'all have a favorite? Growing up, I think mine certainly was either mint chocolate chip mint, whatever the difference is. As, well, I think one is kind of fake flavoring, one is real flavoring, not really sure. All right. Anyways, we're going to get into game 2 Curious Minds in a second. It would be a sad, sad day for Protoss players if Hanmano was able to 2-0 Classic out of this tournament. But it's a best of 3. It's a bracket stage. There's no losers match. And there are certainly good cheeses out there on the map, on the menu. We're going to have to see whether Hanmano has a second one that he can bring to bear. But yeah, so I think, what is it? Chocolate chip mint is the green one that is kind of fake flavoring, and mint chocolate chip uses actual mint. I don't know. There's something. Um, what I do know is both are delicious, and I'm a big fan of mint in general. Although there is a small ice cream company up in Maine that makes this blueberry crumble ice cream that it's so good. My grocery store stopped selling it though. It's very sad. But now game number 2 here, Classic is down 1. Hanmano's up 1. Let's get into it. Spawning in the bottom right. In the red, he's down 1. Looking for a game 3 here in this series for Alpha X. It's Classic. His opponent in the upper left, in the blue. He's up 1 for Prep. Hanmano. So nothing too crazy just yet coming in from the Korean Terran. Yeah, he doesn't have his barracks in his wall, but Classic's going to do the full scout. He's not going to do the, well, let me nip into the high ground and see. Oh, okay, that's scary. No, he's going to look the entire way. He's going to count the gases. He's going to have a good understanding of what exactly Hanmano is going for in this game. And for now, well, that just means this probe is going to do its level best to deny the natural as long as it can, but, well, first of all, Hanmano cannot afford it just yet, and we started to see Protoss players work a little bit more of only trying to block the natural and therefore eat damage on the probe when it actually matters and is relevant, but, well, we're going to have to see, because Hanmano, he's not really saving up. I mean, he's saving up some money for it, but he's buying other things. There we go. Now there's the block. This is the timing you want to look for, as 400 minerals have been banked on up, but the Marine pops out, and that means this probe will not be able to do too much, as this is a Marine into a reactor, so pretty standard, slightly greedy opener coming on in from Hanmano in this game. You know, Marine into reactor and a command center, although it does feel like the command center was slightly delayed. Yeah, Hanmano is kind of an up-and-coming Terran. He's been around for a while. But he's taking aim. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, well, actually that's not true, because 3 points for Genesis. But yeah, he's been kind of off and on. He's certainly never GSL champion caliber, but saying, oh, it's cool he's taking maps off a GSL champion when Classic is 9 months back from military-ish. And he's certainly not at GSL champion stage just yet. He's good, don't get me wrong, and he should have been in Katowice if, I don't know exactly what happened, but he was one of the players above Ryung that probably should have been in Katowice if, I don't know, maybe it's a vaccination issue, maybe it was a visa issue, whatever the reason, he chose not to go. Or was not able to go. But anyway, Stargate on the way for Classic in this game, which is right par for the course. Classic has always been a Stargate enjoyer. And certainly when he came back from military, it was pretty much all he was doing. Stargate into Charge Lot Archon Storm. Now, of course, he's opened up his playbook once again, and he's starting to do things that are more than just, oh, haha, Phoenix go burr, into haha, Zealous go burr, into haha, Storm comes raining down. What do we got from Hanmano? Looks like he might want to go for an early tank push here, get Marines reactored out. Starport's going to be done, and first tank hitting the map right now. The Classic first part, yeah, this will be Phoenix. This is not some weird Oracle play. The Stargate, well, I don't know. It feels like this game is later than it is, and that's kind of my failing, but it feels like we're at like 450 right now, or we're not. So, yeah, Classic just going Phoenix Colossus. Phoenix are popping out of the map here. Robo on the way, adding on the gases. Eventually, a third base will be taken, and Phoenix Colossus is somewhat weak to, or this Phoenix opener is somewhat weak to early Marine pressures. We're going to see medevac go across the map pretty quickly, but it's a scouting medevac. It's actually not full of anything. It's just kind of a bait. But a bait that Classic will not exactly fall for. More and more Phoenix are on the way. The big deal by sending the Phoenix in the main base like that, Classic saw, I believe. Actually, no, Classic did not see the production structures, not really. So he doesn't know. But that was the goal, I think, to see whether this was a 1-1-1 or a 3-1-1. But certainly now Classic He sees the army moving out on the map. He saw the tank. He did not see the SCVs, but we're gonna have to see whether he is A, chronoed out enough, and B, whether he's built enough stuff. There's one shield battery right now. We're gonna see Venus get on top of the medevac pretty early, take half health from that down, because everything Hanmano is doing here is to delay Hanmano as much as possible, force him to siege up, and actually getting that tank to siege up is fantastic. Ideally, he does it one more time before Hanmano starts putting pressure in the natural, but well, Hanmano is staggering things. So one Immortal is out now. We have a Void Ray out as well. Classic just trying to get all of these high impact, expensive units on the map as soon as he can to make sure he can make this break happen. And the supply is fairly decent, but these bunkers are going to make a significant difference. The Zealots, oh, it looks like Classic is going to go for the break right here, right now. Void Ray targeting one tank down. Second tank is getting lifted. Got to kill that tank though, Classic. You're losing so much here, but the second tank is going to go down now. Now it's just a bunch of Marines. One bunker completes. Classic losing a lot, but it looks like he will be able to make this hold happen, at least for now. There's Immortal doing a damn fine job. Second one here as well. The bunker is going to get busted, and these are Marines without stim. That means they have no stake in this game, no way to stay alive in this game. Now, the medevac staying alive is nice, but more SCVs getting pulled here. Tank gonna look for a big shot on the star because he's gonna get it. Hanmano will force Classic back. And here we are. So where does the game go from here? Liberators are on the way. Stim on the way for Hanmano as he's added his second and third barracks. But make no mistake about it, folks. He is behind in this game. Yeah, the supply is good, and he still has the chance to win the game, but he wanted that first push to win as the Stalkers. They will target fire the tank, but no, the bio is just a little bit too strong for now. We're going to have to see whether Classic has he overextended in this game number 2. Has he gotten a little bit too far forward, a little bit too big for his britches? Well, the tank is not yet sieged on up. Stalkers are fighting for their lives. The Phoenix is finally dead, and we have 2 tanks here, which means you got to be careful. Lack of shield batteries, kind of a problem right now, but Classic still doing a damn fine job staying alive. And the longer this goes, the more Immortals we have. 3 Immortals on the map. Phoenix getting re-added. Colossus getting re-added. Where's the tank range? Liberators sieging up. We got that virtuous synergy of space denial, area denial for the Liberators and the tanks. But it looks like Classic, he's going to go on around the left side. He's going to try to cut these tanks off at the pass. Oh, he's going to get a lot of these SCVs getting repulled, but that is a big tank volley. He's making it rather hard for anything to happen. So Classic, he needs to try to take this fight before his opponent has a vision, but Liberator Resiege is going to be damn fine indeed. Phoenix looking to move on in. One tank goes down. Second tank, though, it is still free firing as these Immortals, they're stuck in the Liberator zone, even as the Liberator does go down. This one tank is just doing so damn much here, but the Liberator is going to bring itself to range. The tank goes down. A Colossus arrives. 3 more Stalkers warp in, and this should be it. Finally, Classic has a stable hold here. Colossus on the field. They do so much. And with consistent Phoenix Colossus production at this point, I don't really know. It's going to be hard for Hanmano to do too much of anything, especially as he runs home. His Marauders get lifted and things, they start to die. This was expensive for Classic, make no mistake about it. But Classic has his third base fully saturated. Well, not fully saturated, but at least fully mining here, up and ready. It's done. Third base only just now getting started here for Hanmano, as well as... well, actually, he has concussive shells and he has stim, but he has forgotten combat shields. That's a lot of HP missing from this army right now. A significant amount. It will make it, well, just more difficult for Hanmano to find any sort of effective pressure. But we do have one drop on... Oh, sorry, that's just a single Marine. A single Marine on the right side. It's going to scout it. Okay, at least Classic doesn't have a 4th. At least Classic does not have a 4th. That is always going to be rather nice, but... it's still not a great spot here for the Prep Terran. And as good as his match prep has been, Classic, again, just did a fantastic job of holding. So, the question we now ask ourselves is, where does Classic go from here? He has 2 Colossus, third one on the way. And the interesting thing is he's adding on in a second Stargate. Looks like he wants to play that style that looked so good. Well, actually, I'm sorry, it did not look all that great against Ryung in the GSL, as we got perhaps one of... Oh, sorry, no, that was Ryung versus Zest. My bad. Well, Classic and Zest have... A lot of Protoss players have started to play this kind of Colossus into quick carrier style that I think is what we're going to... Well, actually... We don't have a fleet beacon, so this may just be for really heavy. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. But yeah, there's +1 on the way. There really should be carriers now. I'm surprised we don't have a fleet beacon, but that's just the way the Classic is opting to spend his money for the moment. As more and more Phoenix do get added, there's a version of Protoss that we've seen Classic play on occasion that is really just double Stargate +1 Phoenixes and just shoots everything from the skies, lifts everything, and says, hey, have fun. But now the army of Hanmano is here once again. It's an SCV pull coming on in. The Bio looking to stim on forward, but there are 4 Colossus here. Phoenix diving on in, distracting the Vikings. The tanks, they're getting all lifted, so there's just not a lot of effective DPS in this army. That being said, a lot of the chaff of this army is going down, but again, the 4 Colossus standing damn strong. The tanks are going down. The anti-air is going down. Hanmano is going down in this game number 2. Classic takes it, and we're moving to game 3. It's interesting. We saw, well, second Stargate +1 air, and then actually nothing built out of them, out of that single final Viking, or a single final Phoenix. But it's all good. Do we have any... Oh, shoot. Speeding that ticker up. And do we have any early results? Puzzle got a walkover. All right, that's just it. No real updates here, folks. And of course, the winner of this series moves into the round of 8, which would normally mean a payout, but Spotify did pull their sponsorship, so it's now only round of 4 and finals that get paid out. Round of 8 does not anymore, which is kind of a shame, but I understand. Anyways, folks, game number 3 here on Hanmano Classic. Spawning in the bottom right in the red here. Taking game number 2. A fantastic hold for the Alpha X Protoss. He is Classic. And his worthy opponent in the bottom left in the blue. From Prem Esports, Hanmano. C in purple, if you ask if this tournament is giving EPT points, the answer is no. This is, to my understanding, the last off-season cup. And I think next week is in not Monday, but the following weekend is when I believe these start to give EPT points again. If that's what you're asking. So Hanmano, he's going for the Maru style. I mean, you just put your barracks by the shortest possible point in the main base. You send a Reaper across. You're annoying because it's a quick rush distance, and the Protoss player maybe has to commit to a Zealot. They don't want to do that, and it's annoying and unfortunate. Or you just kind of block this spot and you drop a Cyber Core, and then the Reaper cannot get in. And then it forces you to run around to the natural, and by that point, the timings are pretty fine. But look at this, actually. It's not a Reaper. It's Marine Reactor Quick Factory. 1-1-1 from Hanmano in this game number 3. Someone said we need to bring out the Fromage, and while this is not Proxy Marauder, that only works about once a series. Maybe not even that, depending on who's playing. But what we do have is, we're going to have to see. Factory. And there's the starport going on. This is a tight little cluster of structures going in. Okay, so this is most likely going to be Widowmine drops, I think, with the reactor.Widowmine. So quad Widowmine drop with an armory. We're gonna have to see. I mean, there is still the opportunity that this is Hellions, and I may be proven wrong. And there we go. Widowmines are on the way. Again, with a lack of detection, that's actually fairly good against a Stargate opener, because a lot of these Stargate openers, they don't tend to get Oracle. They don't always get Oracles against the Terran. And again, I'm assuming that an armory goes down. That's what normally happens in a 1-base build. When you go to 2 bases, not always necessary, but An armory does kind of enforce damage a little bit more if it is one base play, and you do need to find value. You're not allowed in a kind of a one base Widowmine drop play to not at least get a little bit more than kind of the minimum for probes. And there we go. Armory going down. Classic opening up with Phoenix as expected. And if he's able to lift them all, he's totally fine. But if they do get a burrow off, if the Widowmines do get that burrow off, they do find value, then the lack of detection will be a significant problem. So first drop is on the way. How many Phoenix on the map? It is one. Soon there will be a second. And oh, the Phoenix is going to find this pretty immediately. And well, the drop still may find its way on in, may look to get shut down. So your Stalkers and Adepts are under all of it. Widowmine drops 1, 2, 3. The medevac goes down, and there we go. So the last one in the main base will get lifted on up here, which means not too much Yeah, it's gonna die. Well, die. There we go. It's dead. Widowmine, the natural goes down as well. Good probe pull there. That is such a hard decision to make. And the one unfortunate thing is now Classic's kind of zoned out from a portion of his base, which is obnoxious as he does have no detection. But Oracle on the way now. He says, I got 3 Phoenix. That probably should be enough. So Widowmine drop into the natural right now, which conveniently is right where the Phoenix are. So Hanmano, this should not get much of anything. Widowmine 1 gets lifted. Widowmine 2 gets lifted. It will not burrow. It will in fact die. The upside, if we can call it that, is the fact that this medevac does not fall down. Widowmine, oh, that's a problem. Good. You know, that could have been a lot worse. A great pull there from Classic. Yeah, he lost 4 probes, but that was about to be center of mass, and it was not, in fact, center of mass. So, again, nice move there from Classic, as we're going to see the Phoenix there in the north side. So maybe this is going to be a punish here. As, again, the drop's going to find its way on in. Once again, Widowmine's looking for a different place to burrow, but they're revealed. So the Stalker should be able to kill this off before it gets a burrow off. Maybe, just maybe. Phoenix are going to find their way on in. Once again, you got to lift the ones in the mineral line first and foremost. Oh, great crisis management here, but the target fire. 6 workers go down. Hanmano, he's starting to find the value that he's looking for in this game, although at the end of it, it looks like that last Widowmine only got some Phoenix. And now, folks, the Robo is done. And that means observers will be on the field. It's no longer going to be quite as reliant on this Oracle with extremely limited energy, which means Classic can go back into his Phoenix play. And realistically, this should not... Well, okay, yeah, Classic just can't mine gas for a moment. And there we go. There's the lift. Last Widowmine's dead. Let's take stock of things now, folks. Where are we at? Hanmano, his natural is done. It's not in location, but it is an orbital. 11 workers have died for 10 Widowmines and 2 medevacs. Classic, he's still up 8 workers. He has weathered this storm. He's got his third base done. Not even on the way. It is fully done here. And granted, fair, it's 6 minutes in. But he just has to start building probes towards it because, hey, folks, you know what doesn't kill Widowmines? Or you know what Widowmines don't kill? Nexus. Although, or structures in general. Although I believe Fear Dragon did some math and he said, there's like 10 Widowmines that if they could kill structures, it would take 10 Widowmines to kill a planetary. So this is the math that you did not know you needed. All right, so now Oracle, it's not going to get, well, it's going to get another. It's going to get 3. It's going to get, okay, please target the wounded SCV, but it will not. So 3 workers go down. Now Oracle has to be careful. Doesn't want to take too interesting of a path because the Widowmine is right there. But Classic, again, he has successfully defended. He's mining off of his third base now, setting himself up for vision for anti-drop whatever, anti-drop shenanigans. And with this amount of Phoenix on the map, we're looking at 6 Phoenix, 7th one on the way. There is not a lot of aggressive option. There's not a lot of aggressive opportunity for Hanmano in this game. He tried, but he committed 10 Widowmines for effectively 1-to-1. And he lost a couple medevacs. Really, truly not worth it there for the Terran, especially as he lost a couple SCVs on the back side. Hey folks, that's an ecograph. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. But look at this. Classic, second game in a row where he's going Phoenix play. He's getting a really quick +1. Again, this is not something that we see all that often. Although it does mean that if you commit heavily to Phoenix, I guess this is the next level evolution of what Stats would do, where he goes up to 8-9 of Phoenix, or at least he was going up to 8-9 Phoenix, and it just means you have multiple lifts you can have your Phoenix kind of exist through multiple fights with the tanks and everything. But Amino, he's pushing with Widow Mines, which is really not what you want. We're going to see the Vikings go down as well. So a little bit less pressure there. Some of the rally is going to die as now. Hanmino stimming onto the other side of the map, finding a lot of Colossus, actually. Widow Mines are going to look to burrow just on top of things. He's going to have to gently micro backwards. Widow Mines, 2 of them go down. Nice center mass target fire on the Zealots. But actually, I think all the Marines are dead. So the Phoenix are just going to lift everything. The Marines rally on into their doom. Marauders are dying in the sky on the ground, and Classic is up 40 army supply, or like 40 total supply. But one thing we're lacking is an observer. It's going to have to roll on home, and there we go. Observer's back, which means last of these Widow Mines will go down. Classic almost eating a juicy shot on his Phoenix, but he has it well, I don't know, timed out, well mathed out. He knows he's not going to take damage. He knows he's fine. He's just baiting. So we're going to see 2 Vikings into the main base. They're going to look for something, but hippity-poppity. The Vikings are now Classic's property. And okay, there we go. Fleet Beacon going down. Second Stargate on the way. Looks like Classic wants to move into carriers here. Now, I don't think he has to. I think he could roll across the map and kill the Terran. And I think he knows that, too. He's up 30 army supply. He's up pretty much. He's not up upgrades. He doesn't have a forge, I don't think. No, he doesn't have a forge. So it's just Charge Lot Colossus on the ground. Okay, so interesting, though. Yeah, this will be double Stargate +1 Phoenix play. Queso Fresco, indeed. Unfortunately, Classic's got a high temperature salamander, and he's melting it all that Queso Fresco right on down into a tasty meal for Protoss. Although I guess Protoss don't have mouths, so I'm not really sure how that's useful. But the Phoenix, they're just lifting everything that's important in this game for the Terran. It's going to stem on top, but again, the Phoenix, they lift everything. Colossus, Hellfire, Damnation. And that's exactly where Hanmino goes as Classic takes the series. All right, so Classic 2-1 Han-Man. Ooh. Percival has a victory over Bad Boars 2-0, awaiting most likely cure in that quarterfinals. Gumiho awaiting Bistork into Puzzle 2-0 to Straya. Huh. Unexpected. I don't see Stray get 2-0 in PvP all that often. Dark 2-0 Prince, as again, very much expected there. Classic Classic beat Hanmino going into do I have Crater on my friends list? I do not. Okay, we're gonna do that though. We're just gonna keep following excuse me, some fancy action, unless this is Dark versus Nice popping up right now. No, it's not. Hey folks, this is a reminder that I'm putting stuff up on YouTube as well. Things like the finals of this cast, maybe behind the scenes content for IEM Katowice and the other tournaments I run production for. Different things like that. If that seems interesting to you, make sure to go check it out. Exclamation mark YouTube in the chat, on my Twitter, linked below the stream. All these different options. And of course, you can just search Beomulf StarCraft on YouTube, and that should bring you where you need to go. But for now, thanks so much for hearing me out. Let's get back to whatever I was working on before this. Sorry about that, folks. I forgot to. I still had stuff from earlier today on the highlights. That's unfortunate. Did not mean to do that. But we can do our predictions now. People were right. Which also means I don't think any points go out. All right, so we're gonna wait for Creator to pop out a game. We're either gonna get into the next game in the Creator series or Creator versus Classic when that happens. As Creator is playing Quantel. So how y'all doing this evening? Again, sorry there's a little bit of a wait. Just happens sometimes. How the hell y'all doing this evening? Talked about what I've done. I'm not doing anything super interesting. I found a big bug in my in a simulation script that I've been working on, which is very exciting. Well, I did that on Friday. But I had this issue where I had well, this is gonna be boring to most people, but you know that spinning ball thing I've been working on? For those of you unaware, I'm a PhD student. I work on robots, and I'm working on this robot, or this autonomous system. It's not really a robot. It's launched, but it spins about itself, and then it releases one half of it right at the very end, which makes it land soft. And I was having this issue with my simulation of it, where like as it starts spinning, the spheres change places, and it turns out that I just had to. That the angle was not being calculated properly, and it solved so many of my issues. Everything worked again. Made me very happy. I appreciate things working and do not appreciate things not working. Funny how that one turns on out. But this was a great hold from Classic in this game. That push was not easy. That push was not exactly all that easy to deal with. As well, I mean, it's tanks, it's Marines, it's Marauders, it's Vikings eventually. There's a lot of tech. But Classic seemed to warm up as the series went on. I mean, he did lose, I think, 10 probes, maybe 12 probes, to this harass. But outside of that one juicy shot that a Widowmine got at the last second by targeting something down, for the most part, it was kind of fine. It was okay. But this was not the way. Yeah, that was the Widowmine. So it's just that last one. Classic didn't quite give it the respect that it needed. And that's them's the break sometimes. I need more Korean players on my friends list. It really would make checking what's happening a little easier. I don't know whether we just missed a game and it's like, okay, well, it's going to be a little while, or whether it's a matter of, oh, well, I mean, they're just playing a long game, but they should be done any second. I don't know. Here pops out a game, though. So, okay, we got a question now. We got a significant question, folks. We're setting ourselves up for Classic Creator, but both Cure and Percival is going to happen in Classic. I am inclined to do Classic Creator. I think